Checks, please.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Rat Pack Radio Show with Chris, Tim, and Rob. Absolutely. You can reach us anytime at 800-808-5548. We are live to take any of your calls, and we have great guests in the studio today. It is amazing.
You know, before we get too far along here, Christy had a shout-out she wanted to do. So, Christy, please.
So, another shout-out, Rita Santa Maria. We were just speaking of Rita, and you guys said she was going to be on the show here shortly, and I'm quite grateful to her to have the opportunity to teach Success Through Business Etiquette. Miss Rita was honored at the PT 50 Awards in San Antonio yesterday. I don't think we have them here in Houston, but it's kind of, I guess, San Antonio, Austin, what have you. She was the recipient of the 2015 Career Achievement Award.
Oh, wow.
Very surprised by that.
And didn't they just establish some new locations in other states recently?
Yes, actually. Put me on the spot here. Oklahoma, and I think we just went to Florida. And the next one is California, I think. So yeah, expansion. And from what I read, I'm not seeing it right now, but when they gave her the award, they had people stand up as related to being touched by some way, somehow in their life or career by
we did a
Champion School of Real Estate.
At the WCR, I think, event, or one of the events I had attended said, how many people have taken a class at Champion School of Real Estate?
It was great.
Everybody raised their hand.
Yeah, it's amazing how she's helped. I mean, my life is exactly one of those, an example of that. How she's made a big difference. In
and I will not do any of my continuing education anywhere else but the Champion School of Real Estate.
Look at that. Now, that is a testimonial.
Well, let's not get too carried away. I mean, it's okay to do it at other places because somebody right here in this room does teach CE. So,
by the way, you don't teach on the loan officer side.
That's Good thing this isn't
I just wanted to get a mindset out there.
That's not a clarification. Well, congratulations, Rita, if you're listening.
So anyway,
absolutely.
You know, we have a premier guest here.
Yes.
First time here, and we have a two-timer, which is Peggy Pentecost. But we're going to get to our premier guest, which is Dawn Pickett. Welcome to the show.
Welcome. Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about you, what you do, and why you said, okay, I'll come on.
So you want
what were you thinking?
You want the pretty version, or?
Well, she was last night. She's like, no, what do you guys do on the show? We're like, it's a show about nothing.
It's a show about everything. It's a show about people. It's a show about community. It's a show about relationships.
That is true. Absolutely.
So, anyway, tell us a little bit about what you do and how you got into that business.
What do I do? So I am the senior account executive for Old Republic Home Protection. I cover the North Houston area. I go from North Houston to Bryan College Station. There are 4 account executives in Houston. We have one that covers the west side, one south, and one east.
You want to give their names?
Yes, I will.
I'm sure
Cindy
that.
Mosia. We have Yvonne Apodaco, and then Kathy Heinrich, who's out in the Kingwood and the south area.
So tell us a little bit about your, it's a policy for, of course, when you buy a home, I presume new and resale, both?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
And kind of discuss the coverages and stuff like that, because they're not all the same, are they?
No, they're definitely not.
I know you know the difference between them.
I do. I definitely
do. I want you to tell us those differences.
Okay. So our company's been in the business for 42 years. We were one of the first home warranty companies to start up in the nation. We're actually based out of San Ramon, California. We are the 3rd largest home warranty company in the nation, and we have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau.
Awesome.
So been in the business for a very long time. And we've been in Texas, I guess, for about 15 years. So, yes, they do vary. We do cover the house it's a 1-year product. We cover all the main systems and appliances, and we cover things that break due to normal wear and use.
Now, what distinguishes again, I don't know how many there are in Houston that are.
There's about 32
Are there
in
really?
Texas. Yes.
We're
very heavy on home warranty.
So I come up and say, Don, I'm really confused, which I often say, but how do I choose yours over somebody else's?
Well, obviously, experience is huge, and you want somebody with a good rating. I always tell people to definitely go to the Better Business Bureau. It's our nation's #1 resource. So, obviously, you want somebody with an A+ rating. But yeah, I mean, you want somebody with a background, good coverage, that's pretty comprehensive and gives you the most for your money. Pricing is fairly similar. It's really breaking down the policy to look and see what is actually covered, and it can be very tricky.
Yeah.
Now, you don't have to be buying or selling a home to get a home warranty. You can get one without that, correct?
Well, it's actually we do it.
Okay.
It's called a direct plan, but
Right.
it's really geared towards a real estate transaction.
Okay.
But you can do it. It's a little bit different of coverage. There's a wait on service if you order it without going through a real estate agent.
Right.
But if you know a real estate agent, you can do it as a referral, and it's the same product that you'll see in the brochure.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It keeps us in the into the deal.
That is true.
Yeah.
I
Contact
like
your
that.
real-
I like
contact
that.
your realtor.
Yes.
They can make it happen for you.
They can. That
like
is
it.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like it. So, we got some things changing in the industry as far as of course, one of the biggest things that always occurs is AC,
Yes.
especially when you go to the summer. And now, if they have to be replaced or as things have to change, Freon is not going to be allowed anymore. How do you handle that?
It's getting very expensive. So that's probably one of the it is our biggest loss in the industry. So I always tell people to look at AC coverage first because that's where the most money is paid out if you ever need your home warranty. The AC Freon is being reduced, and I believe they're about 80% reduced in production now.
It can go to Puron,
Yep.
and they're not compatible.
It's not compatible. Refrigerant is very expensive. There are a lot of companies out there that will only cover up to $10 per pound on refrigerant. Of course, we cover all of the costs for refrigerant.
Yay!
Old Republic Home
There
Protection.
you go.
So, AC repairs are huge. So you definitely want to look at AC coverage when you're picking a home warranty company.
Now, if something has to be replaced, and they're not going to at some point they're not going to allow Freon anymore, and little by little it's going to go away totally.
Correct.
And the mechanics are not compatible. What's going to happen there? There's going to be a cost involved with
Right.
these.
So, we actually always try to repair, but if we can't, and the problem is that these older units, their parts are becoming more obsolete. So, as we can't repair them, we will have to replace them with new units. So that's why it's really important to look. I mean, for us, our platinum coverage, that you're probably talking more towards modification. So these older units are much smaller. So if we had to replace an AC unit, sometimes they need to extend the slab outside. These things are vented out the roof differently. There's a lot of modifications that actually have to take place to the home. So in our platinum coverage, there's $1,000 towards modification. And we are the only home warranty company in the industry that gives you up to $1,000.
That's what I'm trying to get out of you.
Yeah, no, most will go up to $500. There are actually it's anywhere between $250 and $500, but our platinum goes up to $1,000, and it's very much needed right now with AC, and then also in April, water heaters. The mandate for those increased it as well, so it's pretty costly to replace those units right now.
And of course, those are probably your number one and number two items that you replace, isn't it?
That's right, especially here in Houston. We obviously have such a hot market.
I'm a total believer in this, by the way, the icon of insurance speaking here, because Dawn's product, Old Republic Home Warranty, they cover the main cause of loss that we don't cover on the insurance side, which is, we call it inherent vice. You'll be interested to know. Inherent vice is a characteristic in something that causes it to damage, destroy, or consume itself in normal use, meaning it just wears out. Like your refrigerator will run for a certain period of time, and every day it's destroying itself a little bit. And eventually it fails, just like your air conditioner or anything else. And our insurance, the hazard insurance, homeowners, doesn't cover any aspect of that type of inherent vice or wearing out or destroying itself. But home warranty does. So this is very much a complementary product, and I can't recommend it highly enough.
I totally agree. I haven't sold a house without some sort of warranty on it in probably 30 years.
Yeah,
So-
it's about a little over 80% of all transactions include a home warranty.
Well, it takes a lot of the pressure off the seller and the buyer because, invariably what happens is, somebody moves in, in maybe a month or so, something breaks. The air conditioner,
Right.
especially if they bought in May, they start using the air conditioner a lot. Comes from July, it breaks down, and they go back to they get angry at the seller or their seller's agent or your agent or whatever. Well, you sold me this house, and by gosh, this went out, and it's going to cost me a fortune. And but it takes the pressure off.
It actually was created as a risk management tool. I don't know if you know that, but it was real estate agents and brokers who were tired of being sued after the close of a sale that created the industry. So there you go. It's definitely a risk management tool. We recommend it, and of course I do, obviously. But it helps the agent, not just the client.
Dawn, how do you interact with home inspectors who are looking for potential failure in some of these items that you might have to cover? I'm interested to know how you interact with home inspectors on that basis.
Well, we don't. We cover things that break during the life of the plan. We don't look at inspection reports. We do it on good faith. But it does need to be working at the time of close. So we always tell our agents to make sure you do a thorough walkthrough, because there can be a time in between, obviously, the inspection and then close. So make sure you do a thorough walkthrough, but it needs to be working in good order when the plan goes into effect at closing.
Yeah, and I've had some cases like that where they were in good working order, and they move in the house and something immediately breaks.
I get calls all the time from agents that just went through a walkthrough and the AC isn't working all of a sudden. And that's when you need to get it resolved. And unfortunately, it can cause a delay in the closing. But it's better to catch it then, because your buyers are typically kind of tapped out when they get in there, and they don't want to have to go spend $5,000 on AC.
And moving's a stressful time anyway.
Yeah.
And then to have your AC go out, especially if it's hot in Houston in the
Correct.
summertime. And so the one thing you want quiet enjoyment of your home, and all of a sudden it's disrupted because it's not working and you need to stay there.
Right. Yeah.
So it's a great policy to have. Of course, if it's a pre-existing condition, I know sometimes there's some issues there, and that's why you need to have a great inspector. And I always recommend get an HVA inspection on top of that.
Definitely.
Because a track license inspector cannot take apart an AC.
right.
It's not under their license. They cannot take anything apart, but an HVAC person can.
Right.
So I always recommend getting both of those inspections.
Yeah, so do I. I definitely
And
recommend.
Dawn and I travel with WCR, and I've seen her several times on the phone. So she's accessible to her clients. Several times I've seen you talking to someone, resolving a problem, going back and forth between the homeowner and the realtor, and making sure that your promises were kept. So I've seen it. So I can't.
Yes, Tim.
It's
I am married
getting
to
really
a job.
cozy here in the corner over here.
That's Tim's corner over there.
Tim's corner.
We could sit around and talk about this a lot longer. However, I am getting the indication it is break time
Yeah,
right
Josh
now.
has been raising his hand up.
That is
Jumping up and down.
true. That is true. But by doing it this way, we get to experience a lot of our new bump music from now on.
Let's hear it.
So I really like it. But we have to take a break. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.